talk about toxicity. Have you ever asked yourself why other people become toxic and others not? Well, a lot of people are dealing or are facing unhealed traumas. Many people are carrying with them unhealed disappointments, unhealed betrayal, unhealed or unresolved guilt, unresolved fear. So there are a lot of psychological distresses that a person may experience even before they were born. When somebody is still in their mother's womb, there's still some sort of psychological interactions and exchanges that are taking place, yes, inside your mother's womb. So you find that a person is born already with some bruises from how the mother was psychologically when they were pregnant. You are born, you get exposed to daily stresses, you get exposed to trauma. Some people are raped, some people are molested, as a young child. Some people come from dysfunctional families. Some people come from parents who are narcissistic, who are toxic themselves, or you may even find the whole family being toxic. Now you are born in that kind of environment. Some people were raised in environments that were neglecting them. So you were never given the love. You were never appreciated. You were never told that you are loved. You were never told that you are good enough. So we experience a lot of things as individuals, and those things, they become very, very problematic when they are not dealt with. So what happens in the human mind is that the things or the pains that are not resolved or dealt with, they get pushed to your unconscious mind. That is the part of the brain that we cannot readily access. So unresolved traumas, unresolved disappointments, unresolved pain gets pushed to your unconscious mind if it is not processed timelessly. Then you have the preconscious mind, which is the mind that is between the conscious and the unconscious. So with some effort, we can get access to the preconscious mind. Then we have the conscious mind where information is readily available. So there is not a lot of work that needs to be done with the unconscious mind. I was just giving you a little bit of a background to say whatever you are not dealing with, it doesn't go away. So it is a misnomer to think that whatever you don't face, you forget about it and life goes on. No, the mind doesn't forget about it. And that is why it ends up becoming part of your DNA or part of your personality. And that is where the toxicity comes from. Have you ever asked yourself, why does your boyfriend or your partner or your husband ghost you? Why are they emotionally distant? Why are they fearful? Why do they lack the capacity to take decisions? Why is your partner interested in different women or different men? Have you ever asked yourself that? That may be due to their own traumas that they experience in their lives. Some people become toxic after a failed relationship. Yes, after a failed relationship, you find that somebody loses hope or faith in women, and for them to defend themselves and for them to prevent themselves from experiencing that same pain, they become toxic. They become emotionally distant. So they don't want you to reach them emotionally because they are afraid that should they open themselves up again, they might be hurt. And they do not have the capacity to deal with the disappointment. That is why, once it feels like you are getting close in the relationship, and in most cases we find that it's mainly our male counterparts who will withdraw. And then you will ask yourself, why is this person withdrawing? I thought we were going somewhere. It's because the person is fearful. They have experienced pain, they have experienced disappointment. So it's not easy for them to come forward emotionally and show their vulnerability. So that is what happens. That is what makes a person toxic. And then you will end up saying, I'm with a toxic boyfriend. Yes, your boyfriend or your partner is toxic because they have not dealt with themselves. They have not healed. They are still stuck on the unforgiveness They are still struck on the betrayal and the disappointment that they experienced in the previous relationship. So toxicity comes from unhealed wounds. That is where toxicity comes from. And you find that people don't even want to deal. They don't want to heal from that toxicity because it has become part of themselves. And it has become a way, it's a strong defense mechanism for them. And some people are afraid that should they resolve or should they heal from that thing, then they will cease to exist. So they wouldn't know who they are. You know, there are some people who appear very aggressive. And then you wonder, why is this person so aggressive? It's because they are shielding themselves from emotional vulnerability. So that is what happens when things or unresolved psychological distresses gets pushed to your unconscious. It comes out, you know, it manifests itself in ways that may be toxic.